Good morning. Today I'll be dealing with the topic joint tables in SQL and outer joins. This is under the video syllabus. Joins. First, see, we will have different varieties of joins here. So the first one is a join. The concept of join table as actually was incorporated into SQL to permit users to specify a table resulting from a join operation in the from clause. So join was actually, it's always a better than a normal equals that we use. That also we call it as a join. But this join we use in a from clause, and where our normal join actually we use in the where clause. So this is what they say is it is much easier to comprehend than mixing together all the select and join condition in a where clause. So always this joins, the current joins what we are doing is always a better than the previous. So let's see how better it is. So for example, we will take the query which we have already done. So that is, that's a company database that we have taken. In the company database, the example that we have taken is we need to retrieve the first name, last name, and address of an employee who works in the research department. That's actually a query given. So how actually we used? So this was my a regular join that I actually worked out, right? So what is actually this join will do? How actually what I say a compiler or an optimizer algorithm will actually work. So I have a two table here, employee and the department. Initially what happens, the from clause will work first always, because either to work select or a where clause, what do we need? We need a basic table, right? The table has to be retrieved first. Once I get the table, then I can able to retrieve the attributes what is there in the select clause and actually able to join or equate the condition what is there in the uh, where clause. So what happens in this such query is from table will be executed first. From clause, sorry, we call it as a clause. From clause will be executed first. So where both the employee, so what happens here is from the from clause, both the table that's an employee and the department is pulled out from the database or the memory. Complete data is pulled out. And then on top of that, the condition is where clause will apply with the conditions. So now we will see what happens. The same query I have written in the form of a join. What did I do? I have joined employee table and the department table using the word join. And immediately I am joining based on what? My condition. That's a join condition. Fine. So next I'm using my where clause. So what is happening as our from clause will execute first. So here the only rows which where the D number to D number is common, those rows will be displayed. So I assume at least some 10 to 20% of the rows will be reduced, right? 10 to 20% rows will be reduced compared to the first one. So based on the join condition, the rows will be displayed. Now, what is happening in the from clause? In the from clause, the only rows after the join D number is equal to D number is applied, those rows is actually pulled front. After pulling front, how the table will be? The table will be a combination of employee and department. The attributes of employee followed by the attributes of department. It will be a together one table here. But in the previous query. We will not. Which queries are previous? This query. In the query 1, what I've written now, in the query 1, this will not happen. I will have two separate tables. Okay. But in a query 2, what happens? There will be a joint between employee and department through the attributes D number and D and O, and the total. Now I'll have a one table comprising the attributes of employee table followed by a department table. On top of that table, result table, the D name will be applied. So whichever the row has a D name is equal to research, that row will be displayed. So it is always a slighter better than my previous, but there is no compulsion that you have to use joins itself. So it is completely on your convenient. So hope you have understood how joins is why joins is used and what is a syntax. Now actually we will see many variants of joins. So this is our default join. It's nothing but join or an inner join is our default join condition. Okay, so what does it do? The join keyword is used in a SQL statement to query data from two or more tables based on relationship between certain columns in these tables. Yeah, we have already seen this in the last slide about the join table, join keyword that is used in the query. But now with the example, we will see how the join works. Let us take an example, person table and the order table. Hope you can able to see here both the tables here, which is a common attribute which I can join here, that is p underscore id. So this is my query. What I'm writing here is select person dot. So aliasing I've done through the person itself. I could have done through a shortcut also, short name as a P. So person dot last name and first name from the person table and order number from the order table. So from I'm joining what person. Either I can use join or either I can only use join or I can use inner join, both work same. Orders on is my keyword that you have to use. On which table you need to join, which attribute condition you need to join, PID is equal to PID from both persons and order table, and you have to do aliasing, otherwise there will be an ambiguity error. And I have given an order by person last name. So what will be the result? Result will look like this. So it is purely join what we did. It's a purely join. Whichever the PID is matching, that details will be displayed. What is a matching PID? 1, so 1, 1 and 3 and 3, 3. So that relevant details will be displayed. That's a point, 1 point, one more point I would like to tell is the inner join keyword return rows when there is at least one match. There should be a match between the two tables and between the conditions where there is at least one match in both the tables. If there are rows in persons and they don't have match in orders, those rows will not be listed. So hope you would have understood by seeing the example. Let me go to the next one. Natural join. There's one more keyword called natural join. In natural join, on two relations R and S, no join condition is specified. Here we don't have to specify any join condition. An implicit equi-join condition for each pair of the attribute with the same name from R and S is created. So for example, you can see here, I have a person table and order table, right? So in person table, what was a common attribute or the same name attribute? It was P underscore D. So shall we go back and check once again? Check here the name of P underscore ID. There is a common attribute with the same name. If you have like this, then you can always use natural join. You don't have to use one condition like this. This condition is not at all required not required in natural join. So, what was a common attribute? It was a p underscore id. When you have a common attribute, you don't have to use a join condition directly. You just specify natural join. Automatically, the join will happen. Now, what if you don't have a common attribute? So, hope you remember the schema diagram of an employee database, right? So, or the sketch of an employee database where there is no common attribute name between an employee and the department. In such case, what option you have? If you want to put a natural join, you can use as d name d number. So do you remember in employee table we have d number. Same in the department table also we have d number. So actually, according to the schema, department table had D number. So as there, I wanted to join through these two attributes, but they're both attributes are not of the same name. So I have renamed the D number into a DN so that natural join can apply on that. Okay, that's about the natural join. Now let us come to an outer join. If the So in this outer join, if the user requires that all values of particular attribute be included, a different type of join called outer join. So you don't want to leave any of the attributes while joining. So for that case, we have an outer join, which must be used explicitly. So there are several variations of outer join: left outer join, right outer join, and full outer join. Okay, let's see one by one. Left outer join with an example, we will say it. So I'll just go with this. The left outer join keyword definition returns all the rows from the left table, even if there are no matches in the right table. So take down the example that person and consider the example person in order. So even though when there is no match and this is my query, I have used left outer join with the orders on the condition. What is the condition? Joining PID from person and PID from orders. So how does it happen when I use a left outer join? What they're saying that it returns all the rows from the left table, all even though if it is not matched, fine. But the matching one attribute will be displayed. Now unmatched attribute or a value will be displayed with null values to the next. What are the attributes I want to display here? Last name, first name, and order number, right? I am doing a left join between PID and PID of both the tables. Just see the result here. So I want last name, first name, and order number. Fine. What was my left table? Person table was my left table while using a left outer join. The details of the person table will be displayed everything. What are the matching? The matching is between PID1. The PID1 is Hansen. Hansen details with order number because it is matched between person and order. So the order number is displayed both in case of Hansen. And the matching PID is 3. The next one is a 3. It is a Peterson. So Peterson 2 orders is also displayed with the order number. But what was a left? The left was a 2, PID2, which is the last name as Svensson. What the data I'm displaying from the left side table, my left side table is actually person. This is my left side table, is actually a person. So the value of the person, that is a Svensson, and 2 will be displayed, but there is no match between in the order table. So order value is kept as null. So this is about the left outer join. Now let us come to the right outer join, which is almost similar. So the right outer join keyword returns all the rows from the right table, even if there are no match. So it's similar to the left outer join, but the right side table's information will be displayed. So see the query here. What is a right side table? Orders is a right side table. So My right side table is what? Order. Order is the right side table. So all the details. So again, what I'm displaying, last name, first name, and order number. So order number, which is that not matching? 15. So that is, which is the order number I'm displaying? 34764 will be displayed with no last name and first name. Check out with the output. So Hanson is the matching. So all the details is displayed, but order number 34764 is of no match in the order table, but I want to be displayed all right side tables information as an order number, but the left side tables information will be null. So that's about right outer join. So with one more is why have full outer join. So what is full? Obviously you would have already got it, that both the tables output will be displayed. So full outer join keyword returns all the rows from the left table and all the rows from the right table. So this is an example. Check with the second point. If there are rows in a person's that do not have match in orders, or if there are rows in orders that do not have match in a person's, those rows will be listed as well. So I think you're quite familiar with this example and the query. Let me directly go to the output. So you can check here, I've just done a full outer join. So both the sides. So which was the unmatching? From this table, this, and from right side table, order is this. So what is that attribute I'm displaying from the left side? Last name and first name. That is, only these two details will be written. The third column is null because I don't have connection with the order table. In the same way, order table 34764 is our data, extra data, which is there, but it doesn't have connection. So it displays null value. So that's about a full outer join. Let's come back to the cross join and multi join, the last topic. The cross join is nothing but if I specify a cross join between the two tables, it takes up the Cartesian product. And I hope you already know Cartesian product. If you don't know, then we will be taken up in the next sessions. The second point, it is also possible to nest join specification. Now we are talking about the multi-join here. We are talking about the multi-join here. So multi-join, we are done with the cross-join. Multi-join is also possible to nest join. I am nesting join here, specification that is one of the tables in a join may itself be a join table. So what do you mean by multi-join? So I am using more than two tables to be joined. That's called a multi-join. Okay. So that is join of three or more tables as a single join table, which is called a multi-join. So let's see here. Usually only two tables. All this way we have just checked the two tables. But we know that we will be joining more than 2 to 3 tables. So how do we do that? First, we are joining two tables. That is a table number 1 and table number 2, which is project and department. And I'm getting a through the condition. Now what happens? The result of this is one table. The combination of all the tuples of a project table followed by all the tuples of department table, whichever the rows is matched with these two conditions. So what table now? With these two tables, I've got one table. With this result table, I am joining what? Again, employee table. I am joining employee table with the result of project and department table that will become as one table. From that one table, again, I will join employee table on the condition of NGR, SSN and SSN. So again, from there, the multiple rows will be actually, what I can say is truncated. So only the condition which is matched with MGRSS and SSN, those rows will be left and all rows will be removed or eliminated. And then with that final row, this is my final table, which has all the attributes of project, department, and employee together in one table. On that table, I will put the condition of where clause, that is VP location is equal to Stafford. That is my final, whichever the row matches with the Stafford condition, that's my final row With that rows, P number, D number, L names, address, B date will be displayed. So the last clause is a select clause that will be worked. Right? Thank you.